Good morning. Hey, this is your host, Jeff Ski Kinsey at Fast Charge Energy. That's right, it is another great day. Have you ever heard the expression, the faster you go, the behinder you get? I'm experiencing a little bit of that. It's been a crazy few weeks. And guess what? January's gone. I mean, I looked around for it this morning and it was gone. Today is February 5th. Maybe. I mean, it could still be Groundhog Day. I don't know. I haven't turned my radio on yet to see. But, hey, I'm excited about EV. There was a new report this morning that in January, the UK reached 1 million EVs registered in their country. Or I guess their empire. How cool is that? Think about that. 1 million vehicles registered. And it's just growing like wildfire. It really is. So, are you paying attention to the facts? Or, don't say this, or are you letting the mainstream media dictate what your brain consumes? That's not a good thing. Okay? I love what Earl Nightingale said. He did this presentation back in maybe the 50s. And he said, look, he says, if you do exactly the opposite of what everybody else is doing, he says, you will probably never make another mistake in your life. Think about that. Every time you hear the paper, the newspapers, the media, whatever news sources you listen to, when you hear them say, oh my God, EV demand has dropped off. Oh, they're pulling back. It's just horrible. Nobody's buying EVs. Well, that tells you that is exactly the moment you need to buy an EV. And as you've heard me say, if you're going to leave the backyard, you got to buy a Tesla. It's a no-brainer. There's only one EV on the road today that if you actually want to drive it somewhere besides around the neighborhood, it's got to be a Tesla. And they've got a bunch of options to choose from. How cool is that? Now, if you're in the business of EVs, like I am, then, and only then, could you maybe venture out like I have. I've got pre-ordered a Canoo, C-A-N-O-O, a Canoo pickup truck. And it's my hope that it'll be available this time next year. They're really ramping up, and they're building them in all places, Oklahoma. Okay, go figure. But they're getting it done. Okay, they're delivering vehicles. In my estimation, they were the first ones to deliver drive-by-wire. Okay, they delivered a number of models last year. They put together a special, what I would call Skunk Works, and I think it was somewhere in Georgia. Don't quote me on that. But they put together a bunch of models and shipped them to some people and said, hey, here they are. They're out in the wild, and it's drive-by-wire. Then along comes Tesla. And until the Cybertruck shipped late last year, very late last year, I didn't realize they were also doing drive-by-wire. But in my mind, and of course there was, I guess it was maybe a Toyota that had done it a year or more ago, but they had a backup of a steering column, traditional for a backup. But to my knowledge, the first company to produce and ship a drive-by-wire was Canoo. Anyhow, I saw it a couple years ago when Walmart supposedly was going to buy them, which they have since actually done, as I understand it. But I saw this weird-looking thing in it. Then I saw Sandy Monroe do a review with Tony, the guy running the show, and it's like, oh my God! And Sandy, he's hard to impress. Sandy Monroe. I actually met Sandy a number of years ago, and very hard to impress. But he loved the Canoo and what they were doing, and so I canceled my Cybertruck order. I was like 1 million down the waiting list. It was going to be probably 2026 before I ever saw mine. So I canceled it last February and ordered a Canoo. But anyhow, I digress. Here's the cool thing. we're excited to start promoting the fact that we're selling. And this is not, I'm not asking you to order today. Okay, this is a jab, as Gary Vaynerchuk calls it. I'm just sharing information. We resell the Tesla home and small business charger. But here's the cool thing. It's not just any charger. It has what we call the magic dock built in. So today, we could sell you, again, this isn't a sales call, we could sell you a Tesla home or small business charger that will charge, of course, Teslas up to 11.5 kW. Okay, it's not one of those wimpy chargers, or any other EV. Think about that. But the Magic Dock, it's 2 cables in one. It'll charge your Tesla or your Mach-E. It'll charge your Tesla or your Lightning. Okay, it'll charge your Tesla or your Polestar or your whatever. How cool is that? Hey, I could go on and on, not going to do it, but I'm going to be reaching out to some people today, making some calls, dialing for dollars, so to speak, reaching out to tell you the exciting story, what we're doing at Fast Charge Energy. We've also got a B2C play. We're building an auto club for EV owners. We call it EV Concierge. That's also the website, evconcierge.co. Okay? So check it out. If we can help advance your efforts, reach out. You have not because you ask not. It really is that simple. Ask. I'm happy to talk with anybody for free, no obligations. Here's as tough as it gets. Text me the message, "Are you free now?" to my mobile, 330-992-4754.